Okay, so one of Copenhagen's issues is he's very mouthy. Now, we didn't take him to puppy socialization class, which is has a direct correlation to this unwanted behavior. If you have a puppy, take it to puppy socialization class. It feels really good for puppies to bite other things and people. Does not feel as good to be bitten themselves. So if you take it to a puppy class and they're around other puppies the same age and with the same razor teeth when they're really young, they learn not to do that or how hard they can do that. So for mouthing, a couple of things that we can do. Number one, if the dog gets really mouthy, consider how long has it been since the puppy has had a nap. Typically, it's the first unwanted behavior dogs engage in when they're cranky and need a nap is being too mouthy. So if that's the case, how long has it been since Cope's had a nap? Most people don't realize, on average, an adult dog sleeps 17 hours a day. Puppies sleep more. And a lot of times for human babies, we put them down for a nap, and you're going to take a nap regardless. You're going to cry the whole time. Okay, but you're staying there because we're not going to interrupt your sleep schedule. We don't even think about doing the same thing for dogs. It's very, very important. So first thing is it's been longer than an hour or two since the dog has napped. Then put him into a kennel or in a quiet room so that he can actually get some napping in. A couple other things. One of the things, now this is a bully stick, which is a really high desired chew toy, so I wouldn't use it for this technique, but I would get like a nylabone that's about this size. Some of them looks like bone, some of them look like a bone with a circle in the middle. There's all sorts of different ones, and these should be very rigid, no bendability. Always have one in your pocket, in your son's pocket. So anytime that the dog starts nibbling on you or mouthing you, immediately pull it out. Now, for me, if I asked if I'm where the camera is, I said, could you hand me this? And I threw it over there, you would be like, jerk, why didn't you just give it to me? If I'm a dog and the dog comes up and I put it in the dog's mouth, the dog's like, jerk, why didn't you throw that for me? So just one of those differences between us. So when the dog comes over, don't just try to put it in its mouth, tap it here. When the dog goes here, tap it here. Tease it a little bit. I would say go underneath. We want to be careful of that in the short term, but just maybe poke the dog on the side and then move it around. And we want to create a desire to get that item. And then they get that, and now we've preoccupied their mouth and given them redirected them to an appropriate chew toy. And as soon as you do that, look around and pick up another one and put it in your pocket. So at all times, you will forget. Oh, I'll get one later on. Nope, he's going to be mouthing on you. You're going to reach to your holster. You're not going to have one. So I would go and get the ones that look like the bones. And you can get ones that have chicken flavor or an antler. Antlers do work. I would get an antler. And when you get an antler, it's by the mass. So don't get a really thick one. Get a long one because it'll start out this long and he'll gnaw on it and eventually it'll be this big. So you want to make sure that you're not using a whole bunch of grams there that, at that point he can't chew on. So those would be another great chew toy to give him. Okay. You could also get like goat horns. Water buffalo tusks are pretty expensive. But would be another appropriate thing like that. We want to just have things that we can tease, and then that's what he starts chewing on, and we pick up another one. Another thing is anytime that his teeth touch your skin, whether it's an accident or mouthing intentionally, I do a couple things. One of the things I like to do is yelp. When dogs are playing with each other and one bites too hard, they and then they stop, and both dogs freeze for a second. And the conversation goes like, are you okay? Oh yeah, man, that was way too hard. I'm sorry, I just got excited. Okay, you ready to play again? Yeah, just don't bite me so hard. Okay, and then they go back to it. So after, anytime that happens, just, you saw that like a yelp, like, go. Oh yes, let's get, and wait and reset like that. So that was good. I reached underneath and he didn't have any hesitation. So the healing part is going on. But so just a yelp and then immediately pause. Or you can get up and walk away if he continues. But if he's doing it multiple times, he probably, again, is cranky. So I prefer the yelping and going away. Now you can also stand up and turn around and ignore the dog. But a lot of times if they're really rambunctious, they're just going to jump around and bite your butt and bite around you. Again, that's a time that we might want to put them, give them a timeout and put them in the playpen or kennel or wherever it is. So that was just a tiny bit of a tooth. Wasn't any pressure, did not hurt me, but you want to make it sound, that wasn't even really a good enough yelp. That's like the ideal version of it. You saw he stepped away and paused. And if you do that consistently, then they learn. Now the other thing is but you have to stop petting them. It has to have a little bit of consequence because they want your attention. And they're kind of like, oh, it feels good. They're chewing on you while you pet them. Well, if we stop petting them, oh, the part that felt good that made me want to bite you stopped. And if it stopped consistently, the second my teeth touch them, after a while, I'll learn not to do that.
Okay.
So that's how we get our dog not to nip.